What's up, everybody? It is the Dennis and Andy Show with a movie review for you guys. I saw it Thursday night, opening night. Dennis caught it over the weekend. One of the rare times we didn't see it together. Jurassic Park. What is it? New World or something? Rebirth?
Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, that's it. Jurassic World Rebirth. Scarlett Johansson is the big star of it. You'd recognize the other actors. I don't even remember the guy's name, but the dude that played the villain in the first Deadpool movie's in it. And Dennis, what's this movie about?
Well, Andy, this one takes place 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, where both casts got together. The world's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to the dinosaurs. Those that remain exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the ones in which they once thrived. The three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. Therefore, that's why they put a team together led by Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson. And she gets a group of her people, and they're being funded by, of course, Big Pharma, because they want to have these medical cures for themselves.
And charge a lot for them. So the movie starts out, and guys, we're going to do some spoilers during this. We're not going to break away and do them. We're just going to talk about the movie. If you don't want to hear them, that's cool. But, it starts off 17 years ago. And it's on the island, and basically the big new monster, and there's a few dinosaur, because they're mutating dinosaurs. 17 years ago, they were playing with mutations, and they created a D-Rex, which, by the way, I need to get my lawyers on them, because that's my nickname for you. And I did not sign off on letting them use D-Rex in the movie.
Right. That is Andy Smith copyright right there.
That's right. And just like a T-Rex, Dennis has stubby little arms. Actually, he's the reverse. He's got stubby little legs. Another time. Anyhow, so 17 years ago, it starts off, D-Rex gets loose because of a dumb little accident. And when I say dumb, it is pretty dumb.
Final Destination's dumb. That's exactly what I thought when I watched it. A Snickers wrapper that the guy shouldn't have been eating there in the first place.
Nope.
Falls down, gets sucked into the little vent that goes into the big door, which causes a short. And somehow that little short winds up shorting out all the security features in the entire place, thus allowing the new super mutated dinosaurs to get out.
That's right. And this bastard deserved to get eaten by the D-Rex because it was his stupid Snickers bar while he was breaking protocol that caused it. So you know what? I don't feel sorry for that guy.
And if I was the product placement, and there was a lot of that in this movie.
Oh, there was, yeah. So anyhow, then we bounce to present day, and who's the guy? Give us some of the cast of who they played and stuff.
So
who's the guy funding all of it? Who's that guy?
So Jonathan Bailey plays Dr. Loomis, and he is the scientist that knows everything about this. And then Rupert Fiend plays Martin Krebs, and you have the big pharma guy who's basically saying, "Look, I will pay you all huge sums of money to go there because we need 3 samples." A sample from the dinosaur, from the colossal, from the air, the land, and the sea. And if we can get that sample of their blood, we can help human beings by making sure that heart disease goes away, and we can add at least 20 years to everybody's life by doing it.
And Martin,
of a fountain of youth.
Martin is the bad guy. He's the big pharma guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, we basically if you've seen these movies, you know where it goes. He acquires the team, Scarlett Johansson. They get the doctor. Of course, Scarlett Johansson calls in some buddies. One of them has a boat, a big boat that they can go out on and stuff. Gee, Is somebody going to die when they try to get the sample from the sea creature? I wonder. Is somebody going to die when they try to get the sample from the flying creature? I wonder.
Mahershala Ali plays Duncan, and that's Zora's buddy, and I guess you could call it mercenary friend who owns the boat and stuff like that. And it's kind of his team and their team that they usually go out and do this. Well, this is their one last big score. They're going to get it. The entire plot of this segment, and I'm going to explain myself, is it is like if we're playing a Jurassic Park video game on PlayStation or Xbox. It was basically like, your mission is to go collect 3 samples, shoot it in the air, collect them, bring it back in order to complete the quest and become rich. Okay, that's what this movie felt like. However, there's a whole separate cast of characters, which winds up being, this felt like, here's a script, here's another script. We're going to base this one around the family of 4. And it winds up being Ruben, his older daughter, Teresa, her boyfriend, Xavier, and their little daughter, Isabella. She's going off to college. They're trying to do one great little getaway trip on their little sailboat. And for some reason, they make it past all the buoys and all the things that say, right, you can't come to this island because it's dangerous.
Well, that's the other thing. And they're not trying to go to this island. They're just trying to take, a little boat ride, a 3-hour tour, if you will, like Gilligan's Island. And like Dennis said, they know, it's known. This is not, these dinosaurs are out. They're at zoos, stuff like that. They're dying off, blah, 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 whatever. It is known where you should not be going in a tiny little, it's not a tiny sailboat. I mean, there's a cabin below for sleeping and a kitchen and all that crap. So it's not a tiny boat. But the point is, the father should be brought up on charges for abuse because he's taking these minors out into the waters by the equator where the sea dinosaurs are, where you should not be going.
And he's the only one that is really experienced at sailing, apparently. And his daughter knows a little bit. Her boyfriend is worthless and lazy. And their little daughter, she's a youngin', and she can't help much. And he has to stay away because somebody has to be at the wheel 24/7, 365 in the middle of the ocean because they can't anchor. And it's like, well, you're an experienced sailor. You should know this. It was a terrible, terrible idea to even introduce them. This movie was like, 2 hours and 11 minutes long or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
They should just remove that entire family from the script and actually focus in on and give us more background on Zora and Duncan and the group of them that are in there and facilitate that because, again, 2 scripts put together and it did neither one justice. So
yeah, there was no reason for this family. They didn't bring anything to the story except for, which is a cliche, when they have to get rescued, of course, by Scarlett Johansson's crew, and they get rescued and then they have to make it to the island. And of course, there's the big mutated dinosaurs in the water and stuff that cause all sorts of havoc. So the family gets separated from Scarlett Johansson's team, of course, and they all have to basically get back to this one point. If you know anything about watching movies like this, that the Martin dude, the big pharma guy that's hiring them, he's going to be the bad guy. And what I mean by that is, if this mission went off without a hitch, they were able to get all the samples, there were no problems, and they got away, you could still say, oh, big bad guy working for Big Pharma, but he wouldn't have done some of the bad shit that he did in the movie. It's just because the wheels fell off this bus as they were going that he had to resort to basically showing his big bad boy colors. So, but once again, you knew that was going to happen. There was nothing, they tried to do some jump scares. Dennis knows me. I wish he was there because he would have been proud. He would have said, damn, you didn't jump at all during this movie. And I didn't, because you could just see everything that was coming. It was a roadmap that we've seen so many times.
Dr. Loomis wants to actually give it away to everybody for free. He goes, if we have this, why would we let one company, even though they're paying our bills, have this and just use it to, break all the rest of society? Or I could just give it out to everybody so that they'd be on there. So, he is a good guy at heart. But everything was just very paint by the numbers, all the way up until Gareth Edwards, the director, finally gets to shine when we start seeing the big bad ones, the big colossals in their environments. You could see some green screen and stuff, but honestly, the dinosaurs, you're like, there we go. At least I've got some payoff in this. Now, I got to see it in 3D. And I will be honest, the 3D was kind of mediocre on this one. But the grand scale of having the giant colossal dinosaurs, they were really cool. They did a nice job with that. The problem was it's just story. The original Jurassic Park, I can flip into that movie right now, walk halfway through the movie and just start. And it's just like going back to my childhood. It was so well done that it was such a good movie. The characters were phenomenal. The writing, the story, it was a fantastic movie. There hasn't been a single one of these, except for maybe the Jurassic World, the first one, where at least they had some story. It has just turned into dinosaurs are monsters, so we have to do X, Y, or Z, and we're going to see more dinosaurs. That's what all these movies come. I really wanted something more because the title is Rebirth. So I was like, oh, are we just getting introduced to new characters? Is there going to be some new explosion with dinosaurs? Is there going to be this really good backstory? No, there's not. And I don't know why it's called Rebirth, because the dinosaurs are going extinct once again. There was no rebirth, except for introducing some new characters. It was misnamed. It wasn't that hot.
Yeah, and acting wise, I mean, it was fine. I didn't look at it and go, oh, these guys are just phoning it in. I heard one person say they thought they all phoned it in. I'm not going to go that far. It's just a popcorn flick action movie, which I guess you could say, guys, no duh. What else did you expect? And if you say that, then we have egg on our face. I was kind of expecting a little bit more to it. But once again, here's the thing. My daughter, she's 22. She really enjoyed it. I don't even know if she's seen, I honestly can't remember. She might have seen the first Jurassic Park. I know she's seen all three of the previous ones with Chris Pratt. She might have seen the very first one some years ago. I don't recall. I would have to ask her. She enjoyed it. Look, if you want to go see dinosaurs on the big screen and, the same old type of stuff. Oh, there's a mission. People get eaten and killed. And of course the main stars survive. Cool. Go ahead. Or just wait for it for streaming. I mean, the thing had a blockbuster opening weekend. Not really surprising.
I will be going to see it again, not because I necessarily want to, but I promised my nephew I would take him to this. And he loves dinosaurs, so if there's anything dinosaur related, I would take him. And he will enjoy it because there is not much thinking involved with this. They really had 2 stars. I don't think anybody phoned in their acting. They just weren't given much to work with. Right. Scarlett Johansson and really Mahershala Ali, they really are the co-stars in this, but they were 2-dimensional characters that were written for them. I would have loved to have seen, like I said, get rid of the family, focus on those 2 characters, do more with them, and I think this would have been a really good all-around movie. It had potential, it just never saw it.
Yeah, it's PG-13, and I think I think the rating does it justice. And what I mean by that is if you got young teenagers, I mean, 10, 11 years old could see this. There's real no blood or anything. It's not gruesome or anything. So, you know, you want to take your kids, like Dennis said, his nephew, who's a little older than that, but we're just not, it's a shame because I like cool action movies with stuff like this, dinosaurs and stuff.
And the trailer was inviting. You know, the trailer made me want to see this.
I just don't know if we're the target for it anymore. Look, I like the Meg better, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's rate this puppy and go from there. Whose turn is it?
I'll go first. I think it's mine. This underwhelmed me. The sequences with the dinosaur is fantastic. They're really good. Some of it didn't always make sense, you know, having the big T-Rex going after like the lifeboat and stuff like that. But when you had the grand shots of the giant dinosaurs with the huge whip tails going, you know, there's some redeeming stuff in here. It is a popcorn flick. I just wanted more. I will not be buying this one. I will watch it because I promised. Otherwise, I wouldn't go back. This is a 6.0 in my book all day long. It was fine. The 3D was fine. There was nothing exceptional that makes me want to go back and see it. I'm going to forget about this movie tomorrow. And you know what? I'll probably just go watch Jurassic Park again because I get happy thoughts whenever I watch the original Jurassic Park. I will never do this one again.
Cool. We're pretty close. I was underwhelmed as well. Look, I didn't hate it. It was entertaining. You know, if you can go into it and turn your brain off and just go, it's a popcorn flick, you're probably going to be fine. But I'm giving it a 6.5. Yeah, I mean, just it is what it is.
We are pretty close. I didn't know if we were going to be pretty close or not.
All right, what do we got from the reviewers? And
my niece and wife liked it well enough, so you know it was fine. It wasn't a waste. IMDb is giving it a 6.3 with 30,000 people chiming in. On Rotten Tomatoes, the critics are giving it a 52%. They are saying it is a bit rotten, but the theater likes it. The average audience is giving it a 72. So they're kind of right. We're right in the middle of the critics and that. But I will say, as of right now, I did look it up because we were talking. How well did it do? It's already done 147 million domestically, 171 international. So it's already made 318 million. So you know what? If it does well enough at the box office, I bet they will continue it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have a trilogy planned. So there you go, guys. It's up to you if you want to go see it. Thank you for joining us. And later in the week on Friday, we'll be dropping a review of Superman. We're going to see it Thursday night.
Yeah, we are.
We'll drop that review for you guys on Friday. Fingers crossed, it's a better review than this one. Go sign up for Lilith Infernal Conflict. Working on the campaign, working on a cover I was inking today. Oh, so, but here is the main cover. Here is the homage cover. We've got more surprises in store. Go sign up, hopefully launching at the end of this month. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll check you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.